going to go live with Debbie very soon. Okay, streaming live now. Good morning, everybody from India, and we have Debbie with us. I know it's nighttime somewhere, and Debbie, I think, is joining us for her evening. And I'm just 1 second. I'm just checking if my Facebook doesn't echo my thing. You know, my technical ability is so amazing. So hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining in, and thank you so much for all the support that I'm getting for this movement. I cannot even express what's happening. I'm totally getting submerged in so much energy coming in for this movement, and so much support in terms of bucking me up to say these 100 will happen, these 100 moms will be found, this book will happen, and their 100 dreams, which is my ultimate dream, that whatever 100 dreams they put in that book will come true. The world will connect to them through this book, and these mothers will never feel that they're at any loss because of any reason. And also this book is going to become a friend to that mom who's today lost, feeling that she cannot do it, because these 100 shades of moms are going to tell them that if we can do it, you can do. So that's the whole gist of this book. You can see I'm totally excited in spite of my sleepless nights, and all over the world I'm taking meetings. And we have Debbie today. She's really dear to me, and she's been supporting me through and through with all her energy. And I see her showing up for so many people in her energy, with so many people, encouraging them for their dreams, and, bucking them up that you can do it, and showing up in so many ways. And I'm part of her group. And here Debbie is. Debbie, welcome. Thank you so much for joining this movement. And even before this started, we were talking about it, and you were bucking me up that it's possible, it's going to happen. So Debbie, please introduce yourself to the audience here.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much. I am so honored to be part of this. I would be super thrilled to be behind the scenes, just lifting you up to do this. So when you asked me to be a part of it, I beyond honored. So my name is Debbie Prediger. I live in Alberta, Canada, and I am an empowerment coach. At one time along my life, I was a nurse, and through that, I learned a lot about how the body works. But of course, I was part of the medicine world. Through things that happened in my life, I became very interested in holistic healing and energy healing. And through that, found mindset and all of that stuff. And so now I am an empowerment coach. And really what I do is I am able to tap into your energy. I call it your heart and soul's wishes. I can hear them sometimes before you even can. And if I'm not just hearing them, your body is always giving you messages on what is working for you and what isn't working for you. And then I help you tap into that wisdom that your body is bringing forward. And through that, I just believe that we're unstoppable and we can do anything, because we just know the answers are lying within us, then anything is possible.
Absolutely. Oh, that's amazing, Debbie. And now that you formally introduced yourself, no wonder you were tapping it and putting it around me when I was talking about, these self-portrait stuff and everything. So I'm blessed that you're around to support this and support so many moms with this. And, I also want people to know that she's a photographer, and she's been photographing families. And when I connected to her, she said, just the way I photograph families, their moments, bringing the light. She was very interested in not any posing or any kind of a pose. She was always interested in getting the memories out, the life out in the pictures. And then she went on to tell me her journey about how she, like me, was being just behind the camera all the time. So let's talk about that, Debbie. Let's talk about what happened. Like, you're a photographer, I'm a photographer. Why are we trying to be behind the cameras in spite of knowing everything about psychology of being in front of the camera?
Yeah, well, for one thing, I think that as moms, other people tend to come first in our eyes. We'll always. So for me, when I became a photographer, it was all about telling the story of the family. But I still was hiding behind the camera because I was busy. I could tell other people's stories. My family didn't really like their pictures taken, so I had an out. I had an easy out. Well, it's their fault. They don't really want photos, so therefore I don't need to be in a photo. it secretly was always a wish that another photographer would come in and take these amazing lifestyle images of our family having fun. In fact, it wasn't even so secret because I got quite boisterous in saying the only thing I want for Christmas is just a photo shoot with somebody that thinks the same way and photographs the same way I do. I don't want cheesy photos. I don't want pose photos, but I want lifestyle memories to hang on my wall. When I become a grandmother, that changed everything. I honestly, I will get in front of a camera to make sure that my grandkids know that I was part of their life and part of their fun.
Right.
And it's changed a lot of how I think.
Wow. It happens, even in India, it's a saying that your children are your earnings, but your grandchildren are your interest. And your interest is so much closer to your heart than the earnings that you've done. So when the grandchildren come, you're hanging on to them because you suddenly know that this is what is the gist of what you've done, and this is the gain of that. And then you start spending time with them. And when you came in and you saw you were part of the group that I created for these moms. What I felt was that these moms, not everyone, and I'm very glad that with more and more moms I'm finding now, some of them are actually saying we never felt like that. And I think we're not part of your group because we never felt like that. I said you're definitely part of that group, even more because you need to come out and say why and how come, because majority are like, how come you never felt like that? How come you never felt that self image doubt that you had? Or how come you were always showing up for the images? Because majority that I am meeting and I'm talking, and even more mothers, they always wanted to stay back, and since this COVID time, even more, because the cameras and the online has become so much that they always want to be behind. And that's why such moms are also coming in. And even if they are few in numbers, we have all kinds of moms joining the movement, Debbie. But what is this that you think it makes, because you're coming from a space of being a healer, from a space of energy, uh why is it okay for us moms to be, the minute we become moms, to start feeling like that and go downhill, rather than something like having children empowering us and going uphill? And is it the lack of support? Is it the lack that the body changes, the energy changes so much that it's so strong that we sometimes can't uplift ourselves up? Or is it the society that makes us feel like that? What, in your opinion, makes this mom go down, and then till her last breath, a lot of moms just are there, they've never come
Yeah,
back?
right. So I believe it's a mixture of all things. So we learn by things that we've experienced or seen or heard. So part of that is how your mother acted, or how people your age as mothers, how do they change? So you're seeing that and you're mimicking it. The other thing is that we often get tied into an identity. So when we're dating somebody and we have all sorts of time to get ready and dolled up and we look pretty all the time and we buy extra clothes for ourselves and we pamper ourselves, we are a certain identity. And then we become this mom has zero time to take care of herself. It's a real effort to put yourself before your child. I'm pretty sure that most people here have had their child knocking at the bathroom door while you were trying to get ready or have a bath or even go to the washroom. So, somebody else's needs always come before ours. So when it comes time to take portraits, we often don't feel like we're up to the standard we used to be. And that takes a little bit of time to adjust that you're a different person now, and to embrace that as this new you. And you can still be a fantastic, beautiful, sexy mom, right, or grandmother, but you have to believe it in your heart first. Yes. And I think that with COVID, we've seen a whole bunch of people go through identity crisis. They were a certain CEO, or they had a job at a bank, or they were a teacher, and all of a sudden they were, who am I now that life has changed for me? Right. So this is just another mindset thing. And then we have to really check in whenever we have a resistance to anything. There's always something, whether it's an energy block or a mental limiting belief that's there in our subconscious somewhere, but there's always something that's just asking to be looked at and recognized,
Right.
and then we can choose to release it.
Right. And I so relate to that. When you're, sitting in India, you're here and you're raising a child here. And then I felt, maybe it's India that I feel that mothers are like doing this, and maybe people abroad are more organized, because, you always see, oh, wow, 4 kids, 5 kids walking amazingly. And I think they're all in control. What are they doing right that we are not doing? And this is a chatter that very often happens amongst friends. And then when I was wanting to launch my course, which is going to get launched after this project is over, about the self-portrait and teaching moms to take self-portrait and discovering themselves, I started doing the market research, and I found mothers talking like me everywhere in the world. I was like, every mother, the bathroom knocking you think, and it's very strange that I'm going to say this now on an international platform, and my Indian friends might just like think it's crazy that I'm saying it. But this bathroom knocking, a lot of times, people think that it's our children who are totally crazy in India. Sometimes they're just like knocking the bathroom, that you don't know that they need to respect their mom and give them that 5 minutes in their bathroom. And then you are sitting from Canada telling me that everybody would have felt that bathroom knocking. And then you also read these baby books where the mother is like, I have a book which reminds me of a book I used to read to my son, where this elephant has these 5 baby elephants, and she's really trying to take 5 minutes off. And every time she picks up the cup, like somebody comes in either with a flute or the drawing or something that's happened. And then finally she's in the bathroom, and all of them jump in the tub with her, and she just can't take that 5 minutes off. And it's across. And that's why the reason was that I wanted to take this on, was that we all are together feeling like that across the world when we are raising children or grandchildren, because they become so much more important, as you said. And I'm not saying that we need to leave them or something, but the view of ourselves just like becomes a blur. And then that blur is reminded every time we see pictures and we see the camera being picked up, and it's like a blur, because I don't even know, we think we look bad, ugly, not nice. We just don't know. We just don't want to see that woman that we see. If it's a blur, it's a blur. And that blur is bothering so many women. And that's why this project like had to come up, because it's not an epidemic, it's a pandemic. Like, it's across the world happening to all moms. And I'm so happy that you started taking these. How was the experience of stepping in yourself, Debbie, into the self-portrait? And after you joined the group and you said you will take self-portraits every day of your life now, and how was that as an experience?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. Number one, you have to think differently when you're taking photos of yourself versus photos of others. I can pick up the camera and naturally see the best in anyone.
Right.
But when I'm running, because you taught us to take it with your cell phone with the other lens. So when you're running and looking and seeing where that is, and you don't really have that like, okay, here it is, click. It's more of a setup, which, like I already told you, I don't like post photos. So there's a challenge there, but that's okay. I love challenges. So I know that I'll master it. I definitely don't feel like I've mastered it yet.
You will. And I think the challenge is also like, there is, yes, the technical challenge, but there's also a challenge of being with self. I see that also in self-portrait when I'm trying to talk to mothers. It's the whole challenge of being with self. What do I do about myself? What do I like about myself that I should shoot about myself? That that's the first question that comes when you're trying to do self-portraits. And I always say that the world made selfie a very easy thing, and you just turn the camera, you just find that one angle, because as technically that the lens in front of the selfie camera skews the thing. It makes your face looks thinner in certain ways. And then you just take that one smile and that one angle, and then all pictures are like that. Only your hair, your dress, and your background is changing. I wanted to break away from that, because I wanted them to know that self-discovery is also a work. Like, I'm trying to figure that out, that if I'm telling you to do a self-portrait, I'm not telling you to see your faces here. I'm talking about the journey that you're going to take. Technical part is probably 20-25% that can be learned how to do it very well. And the more you do it, everybody knows technical comes, the more you do it, the more you practice. But actually 75% is mixed up of, what do I shoot about myself? Am I going to really dance with the cloth right now here all alone? Nobody's watching me. Isn't it silly? Like, Like if I tell right now to my mothers, just take a cloth and start dancing, and it's only you in the room, and I want you to take a swirling picture of the thing dancing and being happy, and taking a picture of that, and then looking at yourself. There's so much chatter that happens that it's unbelievable that photographs can do that to us.
Mhm.
And that's why I feel that this needs to be done, and it's going to be an interesting journey. Maybe someday, like mothers just make self portrait as part of their lives and gift it to their children. This is how I
Mhm.
felt, and this is how it was. And she takes family pictures and her life and makes a story. Don't know where this movement is going. Debbie, what's your biggest dream? Like you have, I know you have dreams for people. You have dreams for your tribe. You have dreams for people around. What's your dream, Debbie? Really, what do you want to bring to this world more than you've already brought?
Mm. Well, I think that my dream is just so tied into what I can do for others and what I can do for the world. My dream is just to connect all those warriors that are really trying to do amazing things in the world. I don't care if you empower somebody through Reiki or through photography or through mindset coaching or through helping them be an author of a book. If you empower people through some reason, I want to connect you with other people that do that so that we can just ripple that out into the world. My big dream is that we can raise so much money that we have abundance of money to hand to countries or towns, cities, places that need that money. And we can go do amazing things by just stepping up and being, you know, if you love what you do, it's not work. You just said that you're so energized and so into this project. That's how I've felt for the last several years that I've been doing this. And I meet new people and I see, they tell me their dreams and I'm like, yes, 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 let's do it. And I lift them up and together we just create this ripple effect. And that's what lights me up. So yeah, I'm working harder than I want to at some stage in my life. I want it to be more automated and I want to lift up, you know, you want to do 100 women. I also want to do that with 100 women, but I want to do it with 10 warriors that go out and ripple out to 10 more people. And then I want to watch that become so big that we go together and do retreats. We go and do vacations where we're donating our time and volunteering in another country and doing great things. Like we are a community that just continues to lift other people up. And there's always somebody in our community that knows how to do that specific skill set. And that's why your movement spoke to me so much, because this is what I do is I help people recognize their dreams, that who am I really at a soul level?
Right.
And you're doing that through photography and I'm doing that through, you know, different clarity messages and stuff like that. And it's interesting that as a photographer, I never thought about doing it with the way you are. It's so interesting to me.
I just think it all comes together because, you know, when I see these 100 moms with so many 100 shades, I think each mom is first going to uplift each other in different ways, because they're going to be lawyers, they're going to be doctors, they're going to be healers, they're going to be coaches, they're going to be just a mom who's going for a daily wages. I'm going to look for a mom who's inspiring and making impact, even if she has on a daily wages. I'm trying to get some stars in as well. So they're going to be a variety of all moms. But
Yeah.
in the end, they're all going to be moms who are going to be first uplifting themselves. And when they appear in this book, they're going to be shining. And they're going to, the ripple effect that you're going to talk about is already going to happen. And you know what I'm doing, Debbie, is that this is going to be a very open directory. These moms, their informations are going to be there. Everybody, like the ripple effect that you're talking will happen, because whichever mom you associate with, whichever shade of that particular time you are in, because this is, you're not one shade of a mom anyway. You, like, you take such a journey. I think you've taken it a journey. Even if you become a grandmom, there's a journey of, from a working person to non-working to sitting to, you know, standing to healing to, you know, rejuvenating yourself. There'll be so many shades, and these all moms are at different, you know, point in their life. But when they come together, all the moms should feel that this book and this community and these 100 moms are there to uplift them. So the ripple effect will happen from there on, because they're going to be accessible. I am trying whatever best I can to put them all on a platform where they can interact and people can reach out to them, and keep doing their workshops on that platform, like you're a healer, and just bring all this out so that these moms together become a place for a lot of moms to go, like a place that they can feel that they will be uplifted. So that's the
Mm,
ultimate vision. But I am right now one, and I was just mentioning I need 10 more hands suddenly since this movement has started. And I am sure I'm going to find all of them in you, in helping me and extending whatever help I need. But I'm
yeah,
so thankful to you, Debbie. And how can people reach you? What is your program called? I am going to put your link on top of this interview after this thing, copy paste and do it. But
sure.
what is
So
your agenda called? What is it called, and where can they reach you?
perfect. So it's called Empowering You Community,
Right.
where inside that community is a free community where you come in and you learn from other people. You learn from me, we do free sessions, and then we do paid.
Right.
So everybody is welcome there. Like I said, if you need empowerment, if you need encouragement, you are welcome there. If you are that person that has a gift or a skill to encourage or empower others, you're welcome there. Then it's just a level of how I work with you and how we go through programs to make sure that you're really aligned in your heart and your soul. Everybody has a calling on their life. They have a calling that their soul is either listening to or avoiding and kind of running away from. So I help you, get out of your own way and listen within and with that empowered choice, not from a place of lack or I'm not good enough or I can't do it, but what do I truly want out of life? And then let's go out and get it for you.
Perfect. And I keep seeing your posts and all the encouragement that you've been doing, and I'm totally for what you do, and you actually already doing the ripple effect on people across the world. I am like, totally apart from where you're living, and I can feel you, Debbie, and I feel. And what I like about you is nothing stops you. I like about the fact that you're still enthusiastic. Like you can actually jump when I'm talking about an idea, or some girl who's like sitting in India and talking about it, this is what I want to do, and you can actually jump on it and make them feel, oh wow, this is like the world record breaking idea that you've had, and make uplift them. That's a great gift, Debbie, and I think more people like you are needed to uplift people around during this COVID time especially. So thank you for being you, and I am officially announcing you as my 11th champion, which is your lucky number, you said. And you're going to be my 11th champion. So we have, if my math is correct, 89 more to go. We have another one announced in the evening, and we will be meeting more often, and a lot of things happening within the 100 champion group that I'm creating. And I'm waiting for your self portrait and your story, and I'm waiting to put it out in the world for the world to hear. So I'm going to stop the live. Thank you for being here, and then I just stay on, and I'm going to catch up with